I would like to plug in my Patreon here because everything in this video, all the art that you're going to see, I personally paid to have done. And it's a personal passion project, yes, but at the end of the day, maybe supporting me on Patreon could help me get more videos like this out. So if you wish to support me, go check in the link down in the description down below for my Patreon.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
As you guys know, the game I am most excited to see in 2019 has got to be Luigi's Mansion 3. This game has got me hyped on so many levels, but one of my main concerns is the fact that we don't know if there's going to be portrait ghosts or not. Portrait ghosts were a key part of the original game. So, today I'm going to be showing you some ideas of portrait ghosts that I have personally drawn up, but I had an artist kind of touch them up for me and make some really needed improvements. The first portrait ghost I've created, his name is Arthur, and I call him the Bitter Bellboy. He is 25 years old and he is obviously a male. His bio is pretty simple. He was fired from a hotel the day before he died. Now he wanders the halls of this hotel, looking to find a room to place people's bags that he's collected over the years. Now towards the end of the video, I will explain how each of these ghosts will be catched, because I have developed methods for each of these ghosts to be captured as well, so stay tuned for that at the end of the video. Ghost number 2 is a guy called, fittingly, Maestro, and I call him the Passionate Conductor. He's 42 years old, and he's also a male. Now his bio is a little more interesting in my opinion. He was very successful as a conductor, but unfortunately, during one of his performances, he unexpectedly died on the stage. Ever since then, he has never left that stage. He is always there, and always will be. Alright, I tried to be clever with this one. This one is Jasmine, the Absorbed Gardener. She is 28, and she is a female. Now, I obviously named her Jasmine because Jasmine is a kind of flower. Or is it a flower? I don't know. But nevertheless, she has spent her whole life gardening, until eventually it became all she did. She became obsessed and absorbed in gardening. And then one day, she disappeared, never to be seen again. So next up is Alistair, the world-class chef. He is 47 and he is a male. So obviously, I got this idea kind of from the beta version of Luigi's Mansion that was originally supposed to have a chef ghost. So that's kind of where I drew my inspiration from this. Now as for his bio, it's pretty simple. This chef has been traveling the world for years, showing off his cooking skills. Maybe he can make something for you. Now I'll hint to this later, as I really want to make these portrait ghosts connectable, and I'll explain what that means later in this video. So this one is Lily, the young singer. She's 18 years old, and she's a female. Now this young lady had so much potential. She was destined to be a big hit. Unfortunately, her fame was cut short due to an illness. But now she performs in the music hall of this building, so at the end of the day, it's not too bad. Alright, so this one is my personal favorite. Carrie, the depressed guest, age 21 and female. Now this is obviously, for me at least, based off of the movie Carrie, by the same name, released in the 70s. It's one of my favorite horror movies. That's why I drew my inspiration of this character from. So, her bio is, rejected by her love, she now hides away in the darkness. Only the man she loves could have her open up. If disturbed by others, she will panic and scream until you leave. So she's one of those ghosts that would be extremely hard to figure out, but I think it could be worth it in the end. Next up is Doc, the mad scientist. He is 84 and a male. Now, he died after an experiment gone wrong. He and his trusty assistant Igor live in the castle part of the mansion, making potions to create stronger, more resistant ghosts. And he can also be pretty aggressive, so you have to be careful with him. Next up is Igor, the Doc's assistant. He is 52 and he is also a male. Now, he is basically always with the Doc, or if he's not, then he's away in his room. If the Doc ever leaves the castle, Igor never really knows what to do with himself. He's usually just kind of there. You know, he's not social, he doesn't talk, he's just kind of there. But he does respond well if given a reward for being good. So, if you find a treat for him, he might open up to you. Alright, I know a lot of people are going to compare him to Mr. Luggs, and all I gotta say is, sometimes you can't do perfectly when it comes to creating new portrait ghosts. But anyways, Tubby the Glutton, he's 11, and he's a male. This kid can eat and eat and eat. He is always in the dining hall, waiting to be served more food. If you're gonna get close to his food, let's just say it's not a pretty sight. I did have a little fun making this guy because I wanted to make him a little bit different than Mr. Luggs, and I'll explain how he is a little bit later. Next up is Chad. Listen, I know it's not a creative name, but I couldn't think of anything else. He is the attractive guest. He is 23 years old, and he is a male. Now, he is definitely a sight to behold. I mean, look at this guy. He is strong, attractive, and gets the attention of all the ladies in the hotel. Even some of the men do a double take. Though, it does confirm that gingers have no souls. So there you have it. 10 portrait ghosts that I have personally hand-drawn and created. Now, like I said, I had an artist touch them up for me and make them look a lot better. And I think she did a great job. Look at them, they look amazing. So now I'm going to go individually into each and every single portrait ghost and talk about how they will be captured. This is an important part of the game that if Next Level Games decided to include portrait ghosts into Luigi's Mansion 3, they would have to make them somewhat clever to capture and require a little bit of thinking. And thankfully, all the ideas, or at least most of them, have that in mind. So let's go. So first up we have Arthur. Now obviously you'll see him in the hallway and he's the first portrait ghost you'll see. But you can't do anything with him until you unlock one of the doors to one of the hotel rooms, and you will proceed to fight him in there. As for the conductor, through those double doors you'll be led to an auditorium, and that's where he will wait. I think if he would be in the game, he would be kind of a boss, and he would attack you using some sort of musical notes or something. Something clever like that, he wouldn't be too tricky. So Jasmine would be in the greenhouse, right about here, and she would be, well, just kind of doing gardening stuff. I don't really know much of how you could really catch her. I don't know of anything really interesting, but I'm sure that if Next Level Games did it, they could figure it out. So next up is Lily. Now I also had trouble placing her, simply because of the fact that I already had the conductor in the music hall. But I'm gonna kind of do something like this. She'll also be in the music hall, in the auditorium, except rather than on stage, she will be backstage, so that you can fight her backstage and maybe get a key to the next room from there. So that's 4 out of the 10 portrait ghosts out of the way. Now, what I mentioned earlier about some of the ghosts being connected is applying to what I'm going to say next. So as you can see, there are 6 remaining portrait ghosts, and each of them have a partner of sorts. So Alistair the chef is kind of connected to Tubby in a way. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Doc and Igor are also connected because Igor is the Doc's assistant. And remember when I mentioned that Carrie was completely rejected by a guy? Well, Chad was that guy, so they are connected as well. In the case of Tubby, you need to acquire a specific food item that only the chef knows how to make. So, what you have to do is you have to go to the kitchen and defeat the chef first. Then you will collect the dish that he makes and bring it back to Tubby. In that case, you can give Tubby the food and that will open him up for capture. I think that would be a cool way to kind of connect those two portrait ghosts so that it gives a little more variety in capturing them and maybe will require a little more thinking. As for Doc and Igor, I'm really not sure what direction to go with them. I think the easiest route to do is kind of go the Nightmare Before Christmas route and have Igor love getting treats. So once you help the Doc with a few missions, kind of like Madame Clairvoyant in the original game, then he will let you capture him and he'll give you a treat so that Igor can come and join him in the vacuum. I think it would be a cool little twist, and I think it would, make Igor maybe a little more of an interesting character. Maybe have him barricading something or blocking something and he won't move until you get that treat from the doctor. Now lastly, we have Carrie and Chad. Now honestly, I don't know what to do with these two either, and it's not because I don't have any ideas, it's because I have a lot of ideas what to do with them. Part of me wants to go the happy route and maybe have Luigi help Carrie to kind of win over Chad. I think it'd be possible. I think it'd be cool to have them both happily go into the vacuum together and fall madly in love. Or we can go the opposite route and just try to suck them both up and have them both be separate. Really, the possibilities are endless when you put interesting personalities like this into this game. And any way that we can get these two captured, whether they be together or apart, I think it'd be really cool to progress the story, and I think it'd be a cool little story arch to kind of have two ghosts that are, one's in love with the other, but one rejects the other, and kind of maybe make a little story out of it. And there you have it, 10 portrait ghosts I would love to see made for this game. There will be no excuse if Luigi's Mansion 3 doesn't have portrait ghosts. I literally made 10, at least I think decent ones, in the span of about a couple months or so. So if it didn't take me that long to create those, I am pretty sure that next level games are capable of adding portrait ghosts to this game. There is no reason why they shouldn't. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said, check out my Patreon if you want to help fund more projects like this. It was a lot of editing, because I am recording this after editing it all. It's taken me 3 days. A lot of editing went into this, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, make sure to check out my Patreon page, and I have a Discord. That link will be in the description as well if you want to check out my Discord and come and chat with me. Don't be afraid, I don't bite. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.